while. I think I found you the new telehandler. Autonomy's coming. Drones. Hey guys, this is a pretty interesting drill. A company that we didn't know even existed prior to Agritechnica. So Horizon, thanks for coming to the show, because we wouldn't have known about this drill otherwise, but pretty neat drill. This drill has a bit of a theme, and it's air and liquid. So a lot of air activated row cleaners, as well as air firming wheel. So as the seed is sowed into the ground, you can adjust the pressure closing the trench, which is pretty neat, because that gets you into all different situations, whether it's black dirt or no-till. A couple different types of ground conditions gets you into, because you have infinite control with air. So that's a super cool characteristic. And when I said air and liquid, well, they run a liquid fertilizer kit. So something that we don't have a lot of experience with, but super cool attribute for that drill. This drill, I believe, is built in France. We're still looking into whether or not it's available anywhere in Canada. They did say they could sell us one. We need to go through the proper dealer channels to make sure that we had support on it. So some of these brands that are new to us, still contenders in whichever drill we end up going with. But it's really opening our eyes. Glad, come to the show, because you'd never learn about all these other options that exist. You'd look at one or two of the drills that you know of that are available to you and pick and choose. But drills like this really kind of open your eyes and make you progressive think about your future. Like, am I going to need liquid fertilizer, or how would air delivery, some of these adjustments, how would that work well for me in the future in different situations? Well, look at what we got here, folks. The Holy Grail. I know there's a couple of these in North America and Western Canada, but never been able to actually get in front of one for my own eyes. So this drill's the Horsch Avatar, and it's a 40-foot machine. And if we could dream up a drill, this would be it. Maybe one day the banker can dream up the finances. But this is, like I say, the Horsch Avatar. Never seen one before in person, just videos online from other YouTubers. You guys know who you are. Thanks for posting the content on this drill. Super cool to get in front of it. And when you do get in front of things, scale is always impressive. But I'm 6'4", and yes, this is a massive, low profile too, grain tank, 3-compartment tank. And here I am standing beside these tires. You see videos and you can talk about scale all you want, but when you actually see something in person, I'm 6'4". These tires are almost as tall as I am. There's enough room back there for so many activities. Pretty cool. So this drill, if we were to dream up the perfect drill for us, it would be the Horsch Avatar series. I really hope we can pull it together. So this is the drill we wanted to see. This is what we wanted to come here and see in Agritechnica. As far as drills go, I hope we can find a way to make this work. It is a 10-inch spacing. So tomorrow, what we're going to do is we have some appointment time with some representatives from Horsch to talk about it and go through the drill with us. So we need to be very picky on this drill purchase. We need this drill purchase to check a bunch of boxes. The boxes it needs to check, we need to be able to do no-till. We need to be able to no-till into sod. Can you guys look at the hind end? Look at the shear size of those tires. This drill with 10-inch spacing, we're gonna have to make some changes to the way we do things to make it work. And really, that's, so far from what I can tell, is the only thing that we're gonna have to figure out is the spacing. And the financing. Call the banker. But anyway, pretty exciting to be here in front of it. Tomorrow we're gonna go through all of the nitty gritty with how it works and some of the characteristics of it and how it's built. Got to give credit where credit's due. This drill is built tough. When you look at German engineering, they're world leaders in engineering. And when you see pieces of equipment like this, that proves it. So give credit where credit is due. This thing is very well engineered, and it's heavy where it needs to be heavy and light where it can be light. And I'll give you guys a little bit of a teaser here, but just things like these opening arms being on torsion. So the entire rock shaft is on rubber torsion axles. This particular unit even has hydraulic row cleaners on it. Because we're not in corn, and certain things wouldn't be something we would need in every field, but it has it. The firming wheels and the closing wheels, super cool how heavy this is, yet easy it is to adjust. A lot of drills, you either need a special tool to adjust the height of the firming pressure or the closing pressure. This one, you literally just pull spring-loaded, if you guys can see this here, pull a spring-loaded handle and move that depth gauge. So adjusting our depth. So that's one thing when we're seeding cover crops and we go back and forth from seeding, something like an oat to barley, a triticale, depending on who's watching. We're switching depth every day, and our current drill, we have to actually use a tool to convert the height. So something like this, you just walk. It's a trailed machine, so you're not crawling underneath the frame of the unit or the tank, and you can just come in here and adjust that height. So super cool to be able to do that. Quite a few different pressure options on those closing wheel. This one here has the notched wheels, which that'll be a pretty big topic of conversation tomorrow, is should we be running the notched wheels or the smooth wheels if we do end up buying this drill or ordering this drill. So a lot of pretty cool things, but just couldn't help but take the opportunity here to show you guys this drill in its entirety without hundreds of people standing around it. It's the end of the day here, first day at Agritechnica. So almost surreal. It's been a long time coming to see one of these in person, and we're here. Here it is. Here we are. Agritechnica never fails to deliver. So we have a Bednar no-till drill here behind us. This is a company I am not as familiar with. They are made in Czech, but they're available. And this is actually a brand that we could get supported from a local dealership chain in Western Canada. So again, I don't know as much about these, but now that we are here and in front of them, they've definitely got it on a pretty cool display. I'm wondering, maybe those LED lights come with the real thing. Maybe if the banker or the financer adds a couple dollars, maybe we can get it with them fancy LED lights and the seed tubes there. But just kidding, just messing with you. But this is a pretty cool system as well. Very heavy drill. It's already got BKT tires on it, so that's a big check mark for us. We love BKT tires. This drill is heavy. So seeding into sod, this drill would be very capable. It is a little different platform than some other no-till drills. This one being a dual gang underneath the frame of the tanks and of the units. So that's a good thing, and not bad thing, but it is a good thing as far as compact nature. This drill folds up. I believe it's 13, 14 feet wide. When it's all folded up, I could be wrong on that. I'll have to check my specs. When I say it's heavy, for a 30-foot drill, it's 2 metric tons heavier than its competitor. So a lot of steel in this thing. So that's all cool. Throwing a lot of steel at places that are using it where it can be better utilized as far as strength. That's awesome. So looking right here on these on this height adjustment axle, that's another thing I'll get into here in a sec. Is they've thrown a lot of steel at it. So one thing with this Bednar that it quite appeals to me is because it's a dual gang, and the gangs are one in front of another underneath the frame of the unit. I don't know if you can see it here, but the height or pressure of the drill is actually added and subtracted or controlled by a hydraulic landing gear, if you will. I'm not sure if landing gear is a proper term. You can see the hydraulic cylinders right about here. This drill has the ability to keep itself level in any surface. So in our application of lots of hills, this might be an interesting thing for us or benefit for us, because this drill has also a hydraulic tongue. So the tongue of the drill is hydraulically controlled. So you can actually camber the drill to how you need it. And with this drill, you're in full control. So as you can see here, this drill has an adjustable tongue. That tongue helps adjust the front gang angle versus the rear to keep them level at all times. So that's a pretty cool feature here. Obviously, got wheels on the front of the toolbar to help it float and contour the land. That's a pretty big area of interest for us. Just the fact that this dual gang drill could be kept level in any situation. We are in hills, so as we seed in those sometimes precarious areas, that drill would keep itself level. The Bednar Direct no-till drill. Pretty interesting. It's pretty heavy. It's a company we don't know a lot about, but that's why we're here. That's why we came all this way to Agritechnica, to try and learn what we don't know. Because someone once told me, you don't know what you don't know, and then all of a sudden, some point in your life, you'll know what you don't know, and then at some point, you'll know what you know. And we are educating ourselves on what we don't know as far as brands and no-till technology that's out right now. No-till technology is huge here in Europe. That's why we came all this way, is to talk about it and get to understand every characteristic and piece of technology that's available on these drills, let alone how to procure them. So got to be nice to the salesman and the banker, but let's see what else we can learn about this Bednar no-till drill. Well, this Novag company, that's impressive too. Very, very heavy built drill. This drill, I think, could seed into concrete. I forget where this one's made, but super cool ingenuity here. These depth control wheels, well, they've got two wheels for every opener. Can't remember what the spacing is. I think this one's at 8.5 inch spacing, which would be decent for us. But these seed boots with one bolt on the seed boot can be changed. That's something that's very labor intensive on no-till drills, and it's a wearable item. People are replacing them. It's not if, it's when. I would like this one to be a contender. However, this one is going to require a bit too much horsepower on their smallest size for us, just because of how heavy it is, and the tracks. The tracks for us aren't as required, but they do come standard on the size that we would want. So, but this one, just because of the horsepower, probably isn't a good contender for us, but geez, what a brute. Novag, good job. That, give credit where credit's due. That's a pretty cool drill, and that won't work for us, but it'll work for a lot of other people. If you're ever seeding into concrete, buy that drill. She's tough. Please don't tell them I told them it could seed into concrete. Probably can't. Here in the Amazon booth, again, giving credit where credit's due. These guys have a drill for every application. They've taken a little bit of a different approach than what we do, is to buy a drill that one thing does everything. They have perfected one drill in every category. So depending on which way your mind works. Pretty cool how you can design something to seed into intensive trash. When they grow heavy cover crops here in Europe, they have a drill for that. They have drills for heavy no-till applications. They have drills for black dirt applications. They have drills for everything. Very cool approach. We've been trying to get in touch with somebody that could help educate us on that brand. We don't know a lot about Amazon. Pretty impressive company. They have a lot of stuff here. I can hold my camera up and you can see it in the background, but a third of this convention hall is all Amazon gear. So pretty interesting, to say the least. I'm not sure if they're a contender because we don't know enough about the product line, and if they have one that would work for us. I'm sure they do, but we just don't know it yet. And well, we got one more day here at the show. Figuring it out. Well, here's another drill. Give credit where credit is due. This company, Vaderstad, we can get pretty good support on these drills here in Canada. Well, not here, I'm in Germany. In Canada, this is a Seed Hawk variation of Vaderstad. Everyone knows the performance out of a Seed Hawk drill. They're very, very high performing drills. This doesn't fall into a no-till category though, but geez, it makes me want to not need a no-till drill. However, speaking with these reps here, this is a drill that could actually work for us. It has a traditional shank style opener, but it's twin row, so, or it can be outfitted as twin row. So there is an opening coulter, as you can see, which makes an incision into the ground, and that incision now allows for the opening coulter to go through. So people have gone into rough pastures with this drill and interseeded new grass. So this drill could be a benefit to us. It's making us think outside of our no-till roots because it is such minimal till. And we could throw this drill into a lot of different situations and it would handle that. So the capacity of this drill, or the capability of this drill, definitely checks the box. It is, however, a little out of our comfort zone. This drill got unveiled here at the show this morning. So the public has never seen this drill until this morning. Staying late here just to get some images of it without people around it. They unveiled this drill for the world here this morning at 9:30. So it's been a pretty busy booth here at Vaderstad. Again, give credit where credit is due. That's a phenomenal piece of equipment. We've been talking to the reps here when we can. They've been super busy about how this drill would work for us, and they have very high confidence that this drill would actually work for us. So again, this drill would push us a little bit out of our comfort zone with it not being a traditional single disc style opener. It does have a single disc coulter, but not an opener system. So that drill would still use a conventional style opener here, which I'll show you in a second. But very cool, very ingenuitive drill. That Seed Hawk brand, Vaderstad brand, very high performing brand, very well respected names in the industry, let alone having something like this, which literally have their newest tech on it. So is this drill a candidate for us? Yes, it actually is. If I were to consider something that's not the traditional single disc drill, this would be it. So we are going to be considering this. We're going to have to get some pricing on it. It does come in a 30-foot width, I believe, as well. There's been so many specs thrown at us, and a lot of these specs, because we're in Europe, these specs are given to us in metric. So forgive me if I make some errors on these specs. These are unofficial specs just here on the channel with you guys. I'll try my best to get them accurate, but if I miss one or miscalculate the conversion from meters to feet, sorry about that. But we do know that our fast track can pull this one. They did say it would be kind of at the higher of the horsepower, but it would do it. The hills we'd have to slow down. So again, this drill we'd have to compromise a little bit on the speed in which we pull it, but it gains in versatility. We could throw this drill into a couple more situations and not have to maybe think twice or do as much adjustment in order to get it to work. No-till drills, depending on the style, need to be set up and adapted and calibrated for every exact seating situation. But anyway, let's take a closer look at these openers. So pretty cool opening system here, hydraulically controlled, open cutting disc, so opening coulter. And as you can see, those opening coulters allow for the shank and the twin chute element of that drill to put the seed in the ground. So seed or fertilizer can come out of these two different shanks, which if anyone's ever seen a field planted, I think this is kind of a seed hawk trait, is when they have the twin row. When you look at a field that's been planted, there's two furrows right side by side. That takes the seed out of one main furrow that it would have a higher concentration of seeds and competitive nature for those plants to fight each other with. This one spreads them out a little bit. So again, not being no-till, that twin chute option for us, that's an interesting one. And obviously we could put our fertilizer in, we could put our nitrogen in with this drill as well. But having that twin row, that's pretty interesting. Now, let alone it would actually put our fertilizer further away from the seed, which is what you want. You don't want your fertilizer being up against your seed. So this separates that by just a little bit more. So kind of an interesting setup to deliver two products into. So another interesting unit here from Batterstad that we'd have to do some thinking about. A lot of these drill manufacturers have other options that aren't maybe no-till or conventional styles of openers. This Rapid 600 is pretty interesting. It can perform some tillage. It has some braking discs up front. You can actually buy this drill without those. So then if it did, it would run as a no-till drill, or very close to, I should say, minimal till. So this drill has some pretty neat options. I'm not even going to try and get into this, try to remember the specs I was just told on it. The fella that was helping me had to run, so I wasn't able to get it much on camera. Just had to quickly ask some questions that I needed to ask. But pretty neat firming wheel system here. As you can see, firming wheel, I shouldn't even call it that. But pretty neat system here. This is a brand we don't know a lot about. Batterstad has a very good reputation, and should this come to the farm? Let me know what you guys think about some of these drills. It'd be pretty interesting to know what your guys' experiences are, especially with this no-till topic. It's traveling the world to try and find one.